So some babes went to space this week and they came back and they are angry and throwing tantrums that we did not take them seriously. More on that this week on the Eccentric Side. Hello and welcome to the Eccentric Side. My name is Uche, and if it's your first time here, don't forget to ensure you are subscribed before you go, and if you are a returning subscriber, make sure you turn on notification bells and like this video if this video makes sense to you. Now let's begin. What am I talking about today? It's I don't know, some form of coincidence, and you understand why as the video proceeds. So this week was the week that Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin tried to break a record by having an all-female crew go into space for a cruise mission. I know that some people might feel touched by this because I call this a cruise mission, but how exactly do you explain, you know, throwing in, yes, a few scientists, but a lot of influencers and the girlfriend of the owner of the ship to go into space, spend a total of 4 minutes in space, and then return to Earth, and then we are supposed to treat them as some form of astronauts. On this mission was very important to note Katy Perry, the musician, and then they went into space. They said that this mission, the purpose of the mission was men had been going to space. They wanted to somehow make it a bit more inclusive, make give women equal chance, equal rights. So also, create our path and forge our path towards, more spatial explorations. And I don't know why, if by some coincidence, for the mission that we wanted to go for in space, it was just mainly women that were qualified. I mean, I've not had issues with it, but how do you classify one, paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to reserve a seat? Number one. Number two, go into space to promote your album. Obviously, when you come back, we are not going to take you seriously. So what I'm referring to is one of the prominent people on this flight was the musician Katy Perry, and when she went there, a picture taken from space showed her advertising her song selection that she was going to be performing during her next tour, and I was like, okay, so if you want us to take you guys seriously, at least try to act a bit more seriously. Then she went out, came back, and was kissing the ground, and she's proud to be back home. And then I thought about the other astronauts who were lost in space for days and then got back finally, and then they had to be rushed to the hospital because they had spent so much time in space. I did not see them kissing the ground. I did not see them, celebrating the way they were celebrating, because they know that space exploration is meant to be serious work. And now, when these ladies go back, and they were wondering why people did not take them seriously, people were not calling them astronauts. Imagine when someone like Katy Perry, who was on the trip, was going, then she tweeted, "We are putting the ass in astronaut." Really? And they expect to go there and come back and people will take you seriously that they have, you know, inserted the ass in astronaut. And I think this relates to a broader problem, a problem that I realized this week, and that's where the coincidence happened. Now, I was at an event this week, and during that event, someone came up to say that she has a company. I think it's a branding company that comprises of all women. And then people clapped. They were happy. They clapped like she's doing something very spectacular. And I thought about it. If we turn these tables around, and a guy came up and said, "I have a company, and we're making our policy to employ just men," what will happen? No, just think about it. What will happen? And I think this points to the broader problem about feminism and people trying to make sure that women are included. I think they are going about it all wrong. And what do I mean by this? So, If you are going to be trying to fight for equal rights, equal opportunities, inclusion in everything, but for both men, women, a person with disability, race, gender, color, age, whatever the case may be, if you want to, if that is what you are targeting, I don't think the solution to that is exclusion of one group so that you can promote a second group. You are still going back to the problem, which is exclusion, which is discrimination. Because if I was a guy and I was the best person for the job in this company that is there to employ all women, they won't just give me the job. And why would they not give me the job? Because I don't have the right body parts, I guess. And I don't think that is the best way to go. I will propose that, and I think this is also an issue with some form of feminism. I know that they are the feminists with all their faculties intact. Then we have some with some screw loose that not only fight for equal rights for women, but fight for female dominance. You cannot be trying to solve a problem by creating another problem. So what happens? Let's say in some fantasy land, you eventually get your female dominance, the women are ruling. What happens next? Then the men start to fight for their male dominance, and then we are back to where we were. Why don't we fight for equality? So instead of back to the jokers that call themselves astronauts, back to them. So instead of saying the first all women crew, let's say the first equal crew, equal men, equal women going on the fight. I think that even has problem because space has to be a serious minded mission. And how you do a serious minded mission is when you have qualified people for the job. Now, if you want to do a heart transplant, right? Let's say you're a woman, and then the only person for the job that will be able to remove your heart and insert a new heart into your chest is a man. But then there is a woman on ground that maybe has some idea about what to do, but not as qualified. I do not think he will insist that it should be the woman that is not as qualified that should help you, you know, dig into your chest and bring out your heart. I think you will fight for the most qualified person. Same as a pilot. If you have two pilots, one is more qualified, has more flying time, has more experience. I have a woman who is trying to learn how to fly a plane. You won't insist that she flies, you look for the more qualified person. So why then do you pretend somehow that pushing more women for a job that they're not qualified for somehow makes some sense? What we should be fighting for instead, and this is how I draw the video to a close, what we should be fighting for instead is how do we train more women to be more qualified so they have better opportunities to fight for better chances to make a mark in history. That's what we should be fighting for. Not fighting for more women to be in places, but fight for more women to be qualified to sit in those chairs. And that's what we should be talking about. The fact that you're Jeff Bezos' girlfriend and you had an opportunity to sit on a cruise flight or a cruise, tour to space, that does not mean somehow you are back and I supposed to call you astronaut. Because I watched an interview when she was talking about how, when men went, there was exploration, the welcome was different, and then they went, and then somehow it is sex. That is not sexism. What that is we recognize that it was a simple cruise ship. You just went there, take a few pictures in space. Katy Perry went there, promote herself, because before now I've not heard about Katy Perry in months. So went there to promote herself and then came back. And that does not suddenly mean that you guys are the most qualified women around. I'm sure that they were even more qualified female astronauts if they wanted to make it an official, space exploratory mission. He said it was just a cruise ship for a guy to impress his babe, who is Jeff Bezos, by the way, and then for the rich people to pass themselves in the back and feel like they're the most important because they came back, and on the ground waiting for them, obviously, were the Kardashians. Trust them to always be there to, promote themselves. Another very influential women that had prepared gifts for those who went to space to welcome them with expensive purses, expensive bags, And I was like, am I supposed to take you guys seriously? So, in conclusion, I would say that what the women should be fighting for is more opportunities to be qualified, to sit in seats that men sit in. So when you are qualified and you are discriminated against and not allowed to sit in those chairs, maybe you are the most qualified person to get a job, and then somehow someone who's not as qualified as you or as ready for the job as you, and is a guy is put them instead of you, then there is a problem. When a situation where we are trying to sit in those chairs, not because you are qualified for them with them for the jobs, I mean, but simply because you have the right body parts, I do not think that should be so. And that is my opinion on this matter. Let me know if you agree with me. If you disagree with me, drop your comments in the comment section. Please, and don't forget to like this video, share this video, and ensure you are subscribed to the Eccentric Side. Until next time when I come your way, from me to you is stay eccentric. Bye.